Okay, every year people ask me what they should get their swimmer for Christmas, and I always tell them the same thing. Get a pair of drag socks made by Aquavolo. It's the perfect stocking stuffer for any swimmer. Honestly, there's no simpler training tool to build power in the water than a pair of drag socks. Go to aquavolo.com and use the code BRETT, BRETT, at checkout and save 10%. I'd like to introduce our newest sponsor, Swim Angelfish. Swim Angelfish is an online certification program that strengthens your teaching curriculum to serve swimmers of all abilities. Swim Angelfish will prepare you and your instructors with the skills to teach swimmers with autism, physical disabilities, anxiety, sensory and motor conditions, and more. Learn to teach skills faster and with more comfort with Swim Angelfish. Apply for an Only Alpha Pool Product Scholarship and receive up to 50% off your certification. Go to swimangelfish.com today to apply. Event, heat, lane, name of swimmer, times and places. It's called Swim Nerd Live, and it allows the data and times from your actual scoreboard to be broadcast and viewed in real time on any smart TV, phone, or other device. There are so many things you can do with this software. A very simple and easy to use necessity for any team or facility that is live streaming their meets results. One click on any device and they're watching your swim meet live in real time. Go to swimpractice.com to learn more. Looking to host your first swim meet or replacing an old timing system? Run a swim meet with ease from your laptop using Superior Swim Timing. You can use Superior Swim Timing with your existing equipment, or they can provide you with a complete timing solution, including deck harnesses, buttons, and starter. SST is fully compatible with High-Tech and Team Unify, as well as Colorado, Daktronics, and Amiga touchpads. Go to superiorswimtiming.com to learn more, and be sure to tell them I sent you. Okay, Anastasia Gorbenko, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Now, you just told me this is the first time you've ever done a podcast.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it, especially when it's in English.
A little nervous. That's all right. I understand. Listen, I thank you for attempting this and trying it. Look, your English is great. I know that, but obviously it makes everybody a little nervous when it's their second language.
Yeah, but
It's okay.
it's gonna be all right.
Now, listen, where are you right now? What are you doing?
So now I'm in Eindhoven.
Mhm.
I'm here for LA Current, swimming in the ISL, the International Swim League. Currently, we are training, like we are waiting for our second match in the semifinals. And yeah, we are here for almost a month. So it's really cool. I really love Netherlands. I like the weather and the people and even the cold. So yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations on the last match. You won the skins for the first time.
Yeah, this was a really amazing experience for me. Like I've never experienced something like this, so it was really fun.
And breaststroke too. I mean, it's not the stroke that we would think is your number one stroke, but I mean, you ended up beating the current world record holder in Alia Atkinson and getting that skins win. What's the mentality for you when you step up for that and you know it's not your number one event?
So like my best time before was 29.6. I did in the World Cup in Berlin. So I knew I can get through the first through the first 50,
Yeah. Yep.
and then I'll be good because I know how to hold the speed. And usually I swim like a 400, 200. So I was like just coming to have fun, because 50 is something that I'm not used to do.
Right.
So I really enjoyed doing this, and I'm really glad that I scored so much point for my team.
Now, you're really coming on in your own as an individual swimmer now. I mean, you're starting to rack up some wins and some successes. This year alone, you've won a couple of European championships too. You won long course 200 IM and also the short course 200 IM European championships. So
Yeah, it's really nice. Like coming from a small country like Israel, it's something that's not happening like a lot, So it's nice being the first female that done it, and I hope that like it shows kids from Israel that they can do it too. And finally, I'll be able like to prove myself on the big stages, So it's something nice and fun to do. Yeah, it's like I'm just looking forward to what I can do more,
So tell me a little bit about your history. How did you get into swimming?
So I started in rhythmic gymnastics when I was 4, and I was there like from 4 till 10. So like for 6 years, I was in rhythmic gymnastics. I learned swimming at around 6 years and a half, and then like I just learned and I stopped. I came back when I was 8 because I liked it, and I was doing rhythmic gymnastics and swimming. So like I didn't have time at all after school, I was like always doing sports. And then there was a time that I needed to decide what should I go for, like or rhythmic gymnastics or swimming. I couldn't do it both anymore because it took so much time, each one of them. And my parents saw that I was like much more enjoying in the water and like it was more natural to me. So we decided to keep going with swimming. It was actually really hard. I was like crying a lot about it because I had a lot of friends there and in rhythmic gymnastics that I was like really connected to. But like now I'm really glad that I decided to keep up with swimming.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you had some talent for it. There's a lot of kind of well-known Israeli male swimmers, but obviously, you're starting to put the female swimming on the map. The first time, I believe, that Israel has had a female Olympian in the final. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what was that? The 100 backstroke you made the final in?
Yeah, I made the final in the 100 backstroke when I was like just like it was surprising to me, because like my main event is the 2 IM.
Yeah.
And I missed it by 0.11, but like experiencing a final in my first Olympics, it's really like fun, and I'm really like I didn't even know that we didn't have a female in the finals of the Olympics till like I did it.
That's outstanding. Is there a difference in Israel in terms of the amount of women that swim and the men? Is it the same, or is it just more talent on the men's side? What's the situation?
I think just like women's, yeah, there's like more men's that keep going for the high performance like levels.
Right.
But I think more women's are coming now. I don't know why and why there was like a big difference, but I think now it's more like the same,
Yeah. Well, talk to me about your coaches back home. Let's give them a little credibility here. Talk to me about them.
Yeah, so like my first coach in my club was Ludmila. She is a Russian coach. And yeah, she coached me till I was like 15, 16. And then I moved to Wingate, that it's like our main place to train right now for the team, the national team. And there is Ehud Segal, that he is still kind of my coach. Because now I'm working with David Marsh and Ehud Segal too. It depends on where I am. Like if I'm in Israel, so I'm more like with Ehud, but he's still connected to Dave. Yeah, I've been through a lot of coaches, especially when I'm moving so much now. But yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Team Elite sweater on here. Now that's kind of where I met you. Maybe 3 years ago now. I think we met. You were young, maybe like 15 or something. So how did you end up in America training with Team Elite and David Marsh?
So it was a new program from the Israeli Federation that they hired Dave Marsh as like the head coach of the team, and we were going there for like training camps. And then somehow naturally, like David Marsh became my coach, and I was going there more and more often to San Diego to train like with Kathleen Baker and with all Team Elite, especially before the Olympics. Yeah, so it started when I was 15, my first time there, and then I was like, I think I was there at least 10 times more. But when I met you, I probably was like really shy and I
Yeah,
didn't
very
speak
shy.
that much.
Yeah. I mean, you're still shy, but like in the water, when I see you train and when I see you compete, it's like you're a killer. Like you've got a fire in you that kind of sits below the surface. Is that something that you notice in yourself? Is that you're very calm and quiet outside the pool, but inside the pool you're very competitive?
Yeah, I really like competing. Like I really like, I'm a really competitive person, I think. Yeah, in the water especially. And yeah, I did notice about this about myself, and I think my coaches like were telling me that they know that I know how to compete. Because like if I see someone, I won't give up right away. Like I'll try as hard as I can, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so this is something that I can say about myself.
Coming over to the US at 15, was that your first experience in America, coming over at 15?
Yeah, it was my first time
Mm-hmm.
coming to the US, and you know, especially when you are not from the US, I don't know, like Europe. So for us coming there, it was like a dream come true, you know, because you see US in the movies and stuff. So I was really excited about it, and like I love America. I enjoyed it, especially like the first couple of times when I was like, wow, about like how big is everything, and like I don't know, even like the roads, you know, it's so different than what I'm used to back home. But when I was 15 and like leaving my home for so long, especially when I'm so young, it was a little bit hard. And sometimes even my father would come with me to San Diego.
Mm.
So this helped me a lot. But yeah, I think I just used to being away from home, and I love what I'm doing. Like I'm doing this for swimming, so it's not as hard, you know, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So
What about the differences in the types of training that you noticed immediately? Did you have to make some adjustments to the type of work they were doing? Was that difficult for you?
um, I think at the beginning the difficulty was the language because I didn't speak as much English because like I could understand. Like we learned at school how to read, to write, but not really how to talk. So it was really hard for me at the beginning. Then like the type of trainings. So because I've been through a lot of like coaching, different coaches already, even though I just 18. So like I'm getting used to the practices pretty fast. But I'd say you swim there like faster, more, you know,
All right.
less just swimming. You just like it's really about quality, yeah,
Yeah.
than like quantity.
Right.
I'd say.
Right. Right. So what are you aiming for then? I mean, you swim everything. Is there a record in Israel that you don't have? Like, do you have all the Israeli records?
Um, about the Israeli records, I don't do to fly, not yet.
You don't do two
Especially
fly? Come on.
No, and not like 1500 and 800 and 400 freestyle.
Oh.
But like I do a lot of like different events, especially like 200, 100 breaststroke, 200, 400 IM, stuff like this. But like in the freestyle, Andy Moraz, she has the
Right,
Israeli records in the freestyle side.
right.
But yeah, it's fun to be able like to swim a lot of events. I think if I wouldn't do that much of events, I would get bored by swimming.
Yeah. Speaking of Andy, I mean, she's a great role model for you. She's somebody that's had a lot of success as well. Do you guys? I mean, she was on your team as well at the LA Current there. So, have you had? And even at Team Elite, she was a teammate of yours. So, have you had time to kind of sit with her? Has she mentored you in any way?
Yeah, of course she did. Like I had a lot of times when we were like roommates, and like it's different because like I was like seven, like she's 10 years older than me, so I have a lot stuff to learn from her. If it's about like life outside of the pool, or if it's about what she's doing in the pool and how like she treats herself after practices and like what she's doing to recover. Because especially when you're getting older, so like the recovery is more important. And like as a kid, you don't do it much. So seeing this and like understanding what I can do to get better, so it was really nice. And other than this, we are really really good friends. So it's nice too, because we've been traveling a lot together. So like around the world. So it's
Right.
really cool. And now she's studying in Tel Aviv.
Oh, she is.
Like, yeah, she's studying to become a doctor. She's almost done.
Oh, wow.
So, like, doing this with swimming, it's really hard. So, seeing her doing this and like improving in the pool, and she's really good in school too. So, it's something that I learn from her and see her as an idol for.
Right. Right. Now, you're obviously very fast, at 15, 16, and coming to America. Was there any ever talk of kind of maybe swimming in college, doing that thing?
Oh, so so like in Israel, we didn't really have the culture of going to colleges, but
Right.
I'd say most of the national team right now are everywhere in the US, like in different colleges.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was a kid and I had my first offer from sponsors, like I've been told it's they are not allowing to have like sponsors and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I've never had the dream of going to college. But as I become like older, I would say if I'll have the chance, I'll go. If I'll have like the chance and they'll do different rules for the NCAA,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go to experience it. But for now, maybe like now they're allowing the sponsor, but I don't know how it goes with the ISL part.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a problem. Maybe that you've swum professionally. I still think the NCAA doesn't like that too much.
yeah.
So you can accept prize money. I know that for sure, but the whole swimming in a professional league might get you in trouble. Yeah, but have you had any college coaches reach out to you at all?
Yeah, in like mostly in 2019
Uh-huh.
and 2020, like before even like they knew I'm on ISL.
Yeah.
I've got some like coaches like Indiana and others, but like nothing was really serious because I knew that I can't go there.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe one day I'll go just to train for a pro team there, but and maybe study and I'll need to pay, but we'll see how it goes because we have the army first in Israel, so
All
I'm
right. Is
go
that something that you have to do still?
yeah.
Okay. When is that starting for you?
I'm starting on the 29th of December.
Oh, okay. So tell people about that. But people that don't know about the army in Israel, what's the obligations?
So in Israel, everyone has to do the army, and like even athletes, everyone. So me being an athlete, it's helping me. Like I have to do the boot camp for 3 weeks, and then I'm not allowed to swim there. Mostly, I think, And then after this, I need to be like in the army for 2 years. And yeah, I just like, I need, it's different for athletes. It's not like I'm gonna go to war and stuff. I'm gonna do maybe office work and stuff like this. And it depends on the commander I'm gonna be under, you know. But yeah, in Israel, everyone has to do the army, even like women, men, doesn't matter. But it's like,
no exceptions.
no,
Oh.
just if you have like really health problem, but mostly if you have the health problem, you wanna volunteer. So like it's a culture that like everyone's doing the army in Israel, and like we have to, because then we won't have a country.
Right. Do you have to live on a base?
On a base, like during me being in the army.
Yeah, for the 2 years, like, do you have to live in a certain place?
So because I'm an athlete, I have like different type of army. For 3 weeks, I'll be in like boot camp, so I'll be in a base. I'll be waking up every morning really early, and army stuff. Like they'll teach me how to use a gun and stuff like this. And then for the next 2 years, like I won't be needing to live there, because as an athlete, when you're like a high performance athlete, you can like what you need to do, it's 4 hours a day.
Oh, okay.
So you go there like school almost, you know. It depends on the
like a part-time
like,
job.
yeah, but you are not getting paid as much.
Oh, you do actually make some money during this time?
Yeah, so like around $250 per month.
Okay.
And like, but it depends if it's a really like soldier that goes to war, so he's like getting maybe $800, you know. But it's not like people going there to make some money.
No. It's more for the service of the country.
Yeah.
Now, once you're finished the 2 years, is there for the rest of your life, can they call you back anytime they want you now, or what's the situation after the 2 years?
So it depends on you. You can sign something, but usually they won't ask me to sign this, because like I haven't been to wars and stuff. I'm not gonna be in this stuff. But let's say I have friends that they go into the real army, and they can sign that like wherever there is a war or they need them, they can call them, and they'll need to like leave their jobs or something, and go to the army. Like there is a thing like this, but not for me probably.
Now, you said the 3 weeks boot camp. Is it like the boot camps that we see on TV where they scream at you in the morning and they they make your bed perfectly and things like this?
Yeah, like that's what I hear. When I like after this, I can tell more, but it's probably something like this. Like you wake up at 5:30, you have like 2 minutes to be dressed, stuff like this.
Are you excited about this?
Yes and no, because like it's gonna be a small like it's a break from swimming, but it's not a real break, you know.
Yeah.
But
So does that mean you're not going to the World Short Course Championship?
No, I'm gonna go. So like a week later, I'm gonna start with the army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, nice, very nice. So there's a possibility you could be a world champion and then straight to the army. Okay, that's good.
There is
Now,
always a possibility.
now listen. During those 2 years, are you allowed to travel to, let's say, world championships, European championships? Are you allowed to go to those?
So yeah, it depends on like the level of the athlete you are, but yeah, I have the permission that I'll be able to go abroad, even on training camps too, if I need. There's just like 90 days that you can use every year, but then if you using more, so it means you're like I'm gonna serve in the army more than 2 years probably, because I'm gonna use more than 90 days every like year. So it can be like even 3 years, but then they can cut it. So it's everything like it's about connections in the army. It can be, you know, if
you have some good connections.
Not really, but I hope I have.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a friend who actually introduced me to American swimming. I was over in I was over in Paris and I saw a guy with this beautiful jacket on, and we were at a swim meet at the World Cup in Paris in 1995. He had his beautiful thick coat on. I said, "Man, that's an amazing jacket. Where'd you get your jacket?" He's like, "This is my swim team in America." And he was an Israeli guy. His name is Yoav Bruck. You know Yoav?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very good man. He introduced me to America, and he brought me to Auburn. He's the one that recruited me. He's the one that sold me on the culture, on the team, everything. He was the one. That was the man. I love that man to death. He's connected. He can help you with anything you need. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Maybe I'll talk to him about it.
No, I do you 2 years, but I mean, that's good that you get 90 days. If you go over the 90 days, then it extends a little bit longer. I mean, at least there's some freedom in there to still be the athlete that you want to be in this period of time, obviously.
Yeah, because like there is the thing, because like I represent my country, and then that's why I have these possibilities in the army, because like I'm doing something else for my country. But let's do if you're not an athlete, so you can travel for or like the time you are serving in the army. So there is like different serving style.
Right. Now you're oh, there's my dog in the back. Your parents aren't originally from Israel, right? They emigrated to Israel. Is that correct?
Yeah. So my parents are from Ukraine, from Zaporozhye, the city. That's the same city as Konstantin is from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a small city. It's not like a big one. And so them and my older sister came did the Alia in 2000.
Okay, and then so you were born in Israel?
Yeah, I was born in Israel.
Okay. But you and
3 years later.
Constantine are friends, then obviously he likes you. That's good. That's good. It's nice to be
Yeah,
friends with the boss. You're from the same town. You've got something in common. That's good. Excellent.
yeah.
What about the ISL? You having fun out there? You enjoy this style of competition?
Yeah, I really like the ISL, especially like I think last year being able, because like the first year I was really young, I was like a little bit scared. So last year helped me a lot, especially when I was like surrounded by a really high performance athletes, and I was like, it really changed my mentality, like being from a small like young kid that I don't know what to do. So it changed my mentality that like if I'm here, I can be as good as them, even better, So it helped me a lot with my confidence for myself, especially for like before the Olympic. Like, it was in the Olympic year, so it helped me a lot. And yeah, I like being surrounded by these people because now they're my friends. I have really good friends here. And when everything is gonna be done, so I'm gonna really miss them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like nice knowing like I'm a really good friend of Maddie Wilson, Lina Gasson. Like they came to Israel to train with me. I invited them, and it was like really, really fun. And I think without the ISL, like it's a really nice format to be able like to know more international athletes that you're competing against. It's really something special.
Now you swim obviously a wide range of events. Who is the toughest person for you to compete against?
I'd say, like when Katinka was swimming, I was really afraid of her for a while.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Afraid of her? Yeah.
yeah, I'd say like I was like, because and then like she's my idol. She's swimming the events that I've been swimming, and
Right.
like she has all the world records in them, and she's a really fast swimmer, So I was like a kind of afraid of her. But then like in the ISL, when I knew, like I saw how I can swim, so I was like, why can't I do the same stuff, And then like first time, yeah, I beat her in the Europeans in long course, so it was like I was really surprised by it because it's one step forward with me with my mentality. Because the thing is that for me the hardest stuff is more like mental than physical, you know. Um,
That's
'Cause
interesting. Why
yeah,
would you say that? I mean, obviously you're very physically gifted. There's no doubt. If anybody sees you swim, you've got beautiful strokes. I mean, you hold the water. You've got speed. You've got crazy endurance. You can close a race. I mean, physically you do have all the gifts. There's no doubt. So what do you think mentally is where's your growth?
when I stopped being afraid of like, you know, afraid of winning or afraid of going fast or afraid of opening the first 100 faster than like whoever is next to me. I think this my growth was like last year in the ISL when I was like, yeah, I'm doing my own race. I don't need to look at anyone. I'm just like swimming as I can and as fast as I can, and hopefully I'll be able to make like a good time and like a good position, you know.
Wow. So yeah, there's a famous quote that kind of you reminded me of is like our deepest fear is kind of like how good we can be, kind of thing. Like it's almost like we're afraid of ourselves in terms of our own potential, and it seems like you're just coming to terms with your own abilities and your own talents, and starting to realize and be accepting of how good you could possibly be, right?
Yeah, so yeah, this is the hardest part for me, like being accepting and like knowing, because like physically I know what I can do, but like mentally it's a growth that you need to be like you need to go through, you know, because it's not as easy as it looks. I think mostly when I was like 15, 16, they were like, oh, it's like so easy to be the young girl and like beating the older women here, and you know, like there is no feel. And then like as older as I get, there is more. I don't know. There is more feel. I don't know how to like explain, but I was just trying to like just I know what I'm capable of, and just like getting this confidence, it's a big step for me, and the confidence I'm gaining is mostly from the ISL.
Yeah, probably being around teammates like Maddie Wilson and people, people that are your teammates who kind of feed you that energy and give you that confidence. I mean, you've been on a couple of years now of teams with Beryl Gastadello and seeing the way Beryl competed and things like that. So just people around you in your own team giving you that confidence to be as good as you could possibly be. And now it's kind of like it feels like you're coming into your own where people are starting to talk about you more because you're having that success now, right?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like at the first 2 years maybe I was like I wasn't feeling as I deserve a place in the team, and I think this year I really like I feel like I'm in the right place. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that Olympic experience was something that was helpful for you for maybe the next Olympics too, like making the final and being in that, going through that process, being in the room with the top 8 girls in the world, and then having to walk out for the final. I mean, I understand there wasn't a bigger crowd as maybe there's going to be in Paris, but it's probably set you up to feel like I belong here. I can be in this final and I can compete. Are you looking forward to Paris?
Yeah. I think there is a lot of competition first. Like I'm really looking forward to Worlds now in short course and long course, but
Right.
yeah, I'm waiting to see what I can do in Paris. Hopefully more than I did in Tokyo, and yeah, I think it's a really different competition like the Olympics. I didn't feel like it's like as different, like it wasn't as different from World Championship, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Just there is a bunch of Olympic rings everywhere, and more people are watching this. This was like more people started to know my name in Israel from it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, this was the only thing. Like I got asked like, okay, now you're like you see Sarah Sjöström like a bunch of like really like Caleb Dressel, like you know a bunch of really high, really good, like the best athletes in the world, and you're competing in the same pool as them. But then I was like, yeah, it's the same as like worlds and Europeans, you know. It's just a competition that happening every 4 years. That's what is the most special thing about it. And it's like being at your best like at this time. And if you can't, so you have another 4 years to wait. Like, so this is the hard thing about it.
Yeah. Well, thankfully it's 3 years this time, which is good for you. You'll be in your prime. Like, were you allowed to get an Olympic tattoo, or that's not something that interests you?
Oh yeah, I got one on my leg.
Oh,
On
you
the
did.
right. Yeah,
Nice. Congrats.
a small one though.
Now, listen, David Marsh tells me something about you. You've picked up a hobby, and apparently you're really good at surfing now. Is that right?
Yeah, I learned how to surf in San Diego, and I'd say I'm pretty average. I know how to stand on the board, I like and stuff like this, but there's a lot of place to improve still.
It's something that you think you want to get better at. Do you enjoy doing that often?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Like I find it really fun. But in Israel, we don't have as much as waves in San Diego. San Diego, I think it's one of the best places to surf in the world.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful place, gorgeous. And the other thing he tells me is that you have some cats. You're a cat person, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a cat person, I'd say.
Who
I
are your
have
cats? Tell me about them.
so I have one really old. Uh, we have 7 cats not right now at home.
7.
Yeah, because one
Wow.
of them gave birth in
Okay.
September to 4 small kittens.
Oh,
So we have a British one, a Scottish that we got right before like COVID started in the first quarantine time. And then yeah, so she got pregnant, and then now we have 4 small kittens and another one like a ginger one we got from the like from outside.
oh, the ginger one. That's definitely
Yeah.
Scottish.
And I have a dog too,
Oh, you have a dog? What kind?
pit bull.
Oh, wow. So you got the pit bull and the 7 cats. Oh, wow.
So the pit bull is kind of like acts like a cat now because of this.
What? What do you
Yeah,
mean? How?
because like she walks really really like a cat, or like she tries to play with them, she tries to be their mother like of the
Ah,
kittens, and the real mother doesn't like it, so they fight sometimes. But yeah, I have 4 small kittens at home and I really miss them.
that's hilarious. That's amazing. Oh, well. So when you get to go home next?
Hopefully if we'll make the final on the 5th of December.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
that's right.
yeah, if what we want, so it's on 27. But yeah, so there is some times for us to spend here.
So are you guys competing? Who's your next competition? Who's in the list?
I think Cali, Iron, London, and we are.
Okay, is that tomorrow?
No, the day after.
Okay,
Because like today and tomorrow there's another meet of the other teams.
all right. So it's a tough competition, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
it's tough because we are like always with Toronto, always with London.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard, but
Now,
we'll
I
see.
also heard there's some situation where there's a kind of an outbreak, maybe of COVID in the Netherlands, and so they've restricted some of the competition now.
Yeah, so like on our team there is one girl that she's positive, the one like that swims with me the medley, the Sara Franceschi,
Uh-huh.
the Italian girl.
Yeah.
And then there is like on energy couple positive cases too. And outside of this ISL bubble, I think the COVID here is pretty bad, so they close everything at 6 in the evening and the restaurants at 7, so there is not much to do in the evenings here.
Oh, wow.
But it's still open like till 6, so it's fine.
Does everybody get a room to themselves?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
really nice. We
wow.
got, I think, yeah, it's really because being in a room with someone for almost a month, sometimes it's hard. So
Yeah, yeah. It's better to have your own room. Now, have you had COVID yet?
no, I hope I won't have it.
I haven't either, but yeah, I don't want. I thought I had it a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't. I just had the flu. But
Oh,
yeah, I guess if there's kind of an outbreak in amongst the team, it's like a little scary too. Just kind of stay away from people.
Yeah, I'm vaccinated 3 times. In
Oh,
Israel they're really strict about the vaccination stuff, and yeah, after like Mari getting COVID in Naples, and I was really close to her, and I didn't get it, so I think I'm somehow like
immune.
I yeah.
That's good. You've got your immunity up. That's good. Well, they need you. They need you to stay healthy and keep swimming to definitely make the final here. So, um,
Yeah, because we have a lot of like people are missing right now, but hopefully they'll come back.
yeah. Well, listen, congrats on your first podcasts and the first one in English too. You did outstanding. We got to know you a little bit more, taking up a lot of your time. I know you've got practice coming up here in a minute. So, thanks for joining us, Anastasia. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Yeah, good luck in the future. I mean, you're going to be someone that everybody needs to watch in the future. I mean, you're just so good at everything. Um, Last question: what's your favorite event?
200 breaststroke.
200 breaststroke. Oh, I'm certain you're going to say I am, but the breaststroke, eh? You see yourself as a breaststroker?
Um, I think it depends on the period of time, but yeah, I think I'm mostly like now my first stroke is breaststroke, I think, and yeah, I just enjoy 200 breaststroke because it comes really kind of naturally to me because my breaststroke stroke is pretty long,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I enjoy the long walls and it's a really
Awesome.
chill event, so I like it.
Well, I'm going to talk to Coach Marsh after this and tell him that you want to swim the 200 butterfly. So good luck in that. All right.
I think I should try though,
Yeah, you
but
should
not
try.
not in the ISL, because then everyone is gonna see. It's gonna be embarrassing.
I think you'll be all right. No, listen, good luck with everything. Okay. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take
Thanks.
care.